corner. Anything you can destroy?
What's in the box in the corner?
Apparently it's now a cat.
I'll go check. Hold on. I gotta go check on the puss. Entertain them.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. We are doing cockpit coffee, but we're not in the cockpit, obviously. And Pickles is getting into boxes. There's lots of things in this building for Pickles to get into. And it's kind of a little bit of a job to corral him. I went around a couple days ago and tried to cover most of the cords that he could potentially chew. Right. It's a never-ending battle because then we move things. Like we moved lights so that we had light on us over here. And then when I move it back, I'm going to have to tuck all those cords again.
Whatever's in there doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Probably nobody can. Jesus
Christ. The gallon-sized bag is in front of the other speaker. I moved it because the cat was over there getting into things. Because that's what the cat does, is get into things everywhere, all the time.
All right.
Thank you. Sorry, on. Cool. And we are staying with my mom and stepfather, but we're in a separate building from their house that used to be an office building. That's no longer an office building. It's a storage building, but we kind of turn it into a makeshift apartment when we come home. And it's actually pretty comfortable this time. We've set ourselves up pretty good.
Yeah, it's not too bad if for the land living.
Yeah.
Hambys stuck on the bridge anyways.
Oh, okay.
He's stuck in the bridge. I hope he's stuck on the bridge, not in the bridge. But,
so
friends... so here we are. This is the office building / apartment which we're staying. Yeah. It's a place.
It is a place. So we have all of our storage up in Maine is here in this building. So that's really convenient. I've been trying to spend a day, like an hour or two every day, going through a bunch of our storage and weeding stuff out. And we're hoping we have stuff in 2 sizable rooms right now. And I'm hoping to get it down to 1 room by the time we leave this trip. We just keep knocking it down.
And Mike, don't knock yourself out. I tried doing the thing. I sent you the invite and everything, but the video was like really scrunched up and weird. So I don't think we're going to be able to make that work today. We were going to have Mike go live from the cockpit. We might try something like that a little later.
But I think we might need a practice session with him to work out the bugs of it. We could do it afterward.
Yeah, or let's do this for like a little while, and then we'll see if we can we'll do another one, and we'll do a vertical orientation and see if that.
Yeah.
For some reason, these lives it's like TikTok made it so everybody's like wants to do vertical orientations, and like the support for horizontal orientation for everything is just kind of gone by the wayside. Nobody cares about it.
Instagram kind of pushed that direction for a long time, even before TikTok. But it's
well, yeah. Then before that there was Vine, but TikTok was that's the people are making money on that shit, so that's why.
But there's still a lot of things. We hear a lot about it from things like bands and. Even though it's not our thing, a lot of people have online church services and they can't do it if it's vertical. It just doesn't really work well. So,
well, anything unless you're just a person. I mean,
yeah.
But maybe that's like the narcissism of our society. It's just kind of like,
that's a good point.
It's all about me. It's like, well, now maybe we want to show more than one person in a frame. But whatever.
So super quickly, in case we have some new people joining us, we normally live on a sailboat, and we are
land loving it for about 2.5 months in Maine, which is our home area, while Galen does a show up here and I do some gigs. And so this is kind of weird for us still being on land and waking up and not going out in the cockpit. We're used to spending a lot more time outdoors. And that part of it's starting to get to me. Like I need to be sitting outdoors.
Oh my
enjoying
God.
the sunshine a
So
little bit.
how much more? We have at least 4 times the space, 5, 6 times the space here as we do on a boat.
Maybe even 10.
Maybe even 10 times the space. Well, fuck, this room has 10 times the space.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm not sure where you're doing that math. This is huge compared to our boat.
But
it's a big office building.
But I get like so stir crazy. I don't get stir crazy in the boat. I get stir crazy here.
Well, it's because we're outside all the time. We're constantly out on deck, so it's like it's all just nature. And
I mean, I can step outside. That's bullshit because I can just step outside.
You could,
but there's no like relaxing places outside.
So I'm gonna.
And it's always rainy and cold.
I'm gonna fix that. So Maine unfortunately has gone through a trend here where it's the 13th weekend in a row that it has been super rainy here all weekend, and the people in Maine are feeling it hard. Like we hear it everywhere we go.
The weather's bad in Maine. Fucking breaking news.
But it's been like 80 degrees during the week and then pouring rain on the weekends. But that doesn't really affect us so much because we're not people doing regular jobs.
No.
There's a lovely deck outside. My folks just don't have it set up yet. I actually talked to Stephen yesterday, and I'm gonna power wash his deck for him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, if we can't get their lounging chairs out of where they are, I'm just gonna go buy a couple of cheap lounger chairs, and we're gonna be able to go out and relax on the deck.
We even just use our camp chairs.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah, just to have a space to go out in the sunshine.
Hey Dean,
have coffee, stuff like that.
How's it going, man? We could actually see each other in person now, you know.
Oh my God, we can go see Dean in person. We can go see Val in person. We can go see everybody in Maine in person. And Delaney messaged me this morning, said, I know you guys are really busy because you just got here. And she said, how do I get an appointment? And I'm like, dude, I'm here. Just come over.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to do a lot of chasing people down. We're not going to do any chasing people down this time. But we're open to meeting up whoever, you know.
There are a couple people I'll chase down.
Give us a shout.
I'm going to chase down Rich and Shelly here in a couple days.
Oh, we don't have to chase them down. Just remind them we're in town.
I'm having a girls' night Thursday night with a couple of my closest girlfriends and my mom. We're all going to have Chinese together. That'll be fun.
That's cool. That's cool. So like what's been happening? So I'm up here to do, like one of my primary reasons for being up here is to do one more show at Penobscot Theater. Now I'm in the pit for the Rocky Horror Show. And what's happening with that? We had our first rehearsal, very chill, good group of people. We're all going to have some fun on this one.
Most of them have done the show before.
Yeah, they've done the show before. Most of the cast has done the show before. This should really be an exceptional production. Yeah, we're going to start. We do something. We're going to do like load in on the 3rd, and then on the 6th, we do what's called sits probe. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically the first time that the cast sits around with the band and performs the songs with the band. That's usually that's what sits probe is, and that traditionally, at least up here for this year, that kind of kicks off Tech Week. The next day is Tech, which I don't think I'm involved with, but then we start actually doing Tech run throughs on the 8th, I believe.
And that's like Hell Week, right?
Hell Week is kind of a bullshit term, but yeah, I mean, it's long hours, but I mean, long hours is like, you know, a regular job. Yeah. But so yeah, we bust it for like a few days, and that ends with our first preview night, which is a pay what you will dress rehearsal. So people can come in and see the dress rehearsal, and you can pay what you want to. But keeping in mind that there's still, you know, like they're still calling the show from the audience. So there's like a part of the audience where you're gonna, you know, hear people talking and calling the cues and stuff. And they could stop the show at any point and say, okay, go back and do this. We didn't get that lighting cue right. So, which is actually kind of more of a cooler. I love that.
I've always enjoyed, because Galen's been involved with Penobscot Theater for, I don't know, 12 or 15 years, and I've done some shows there too. And it's like, I always love going to pay what you will night, because then you see some of the inner workings and how they're first putting the show together. And then you go to the show like 3 weeks in when they really have it solid and it's becoming second nature, and you see how it develops.
Yeah.
And people do things a little differently with their characters. And I love seeing that difference.
So how it's supposed to work in if you're not familiar with theater, how it's supposed to work, once you have opening night, the show you see opening night is supposed to be, in this theater anyways, the idea was always opening night, the director goes away, the stage manager takes over, and then the rest of the show should be a carbon copy of every. You should be able to go to the first show, the 10th show, the 7th show. They should all be basically the same. You know, little things are going to change, and there's going to be, you know, whatever, you know, it's live. So, I mean, but as far as like costuming, blocking, lighting, all of that stuff should be set by your opening night. So what they do is they'll do like Tech Week ends with the preview. And then there's the pay what you will dress rehearsal. Then there's 2 preview nights. And then Saturday, I believe, is opening night. And then that's the big to do. And then it's Wednesday through Sunday. And I get Mondays and Tuesdays off. And
but there's little things that happen along the way. Like let's say, as an example, there's a place where Christy is doing something funny. Once she actually starts getting the audience's reaction, gestures or facial expressions little things change.
Oh, yeah,
make it like, oh, it's way funnier now 2 weeks in, because she learned how to pull from the audience in a different way. That
timing changes, you know,
yeah,
but
stuff like that.
But at any point, the stage manager can be like, pull that shit back. Or,
yeah, I didn't like that. Don't do that again.
Yeah. But anyways, that's
and that happens.
If you're not familiar with theater, that's how that works. And it'll be a fun thing. And every Friday night, she's going to be over at there's a bar attached to the theater. She's going to be playing the bar every Friday night on a solo act. So that's going to be kind of cool. So
yeah. So as soon as the way it works is the play ends and the musical ends, and as people are walking out on one side of the theater, there are these big double doors, and they'll just open the big double doors. So when people are exiting the theater, they'll hear me playing, and then I play for like 2 hours. So the idea is a bunch of the people funnel into the bar and hang out for a while and spend money on drinks watching me.
See, I was thinking they should make it like Club Med. The club, not when we were there, but back in the Club Med days. So the cast would all line up like in the front. Then they would open the doors to let the people out, and the cast would be like a wall of people, and they'd be like, go this way. And they would funnel you exactly where they wanted you. And that's how Club Med seemed like it was rocking busy all the time. because they would literally block you from going anywhere but where they wanted to. They would move if you said, get the fuck out of my way.
But they would funnel you.
But they would, there would be resistance there, and they would like funnel you into, like, you'd come out of dinner and then all of a sudden you'd be going into like this theater to watch an acrobat. Or,
everybody's going over there now.
You didn't have plans for that, but that's what you're doing. So that's what they should do. The whole cast should like make a wall and just kind of like
everyone's going in to see Allison
make
now.
people to go. that bar cannot fit 400 people.
The truth is, it's a small bar. I don't even know what the capacity is. If I had to guess, maybe 100 at the most.
Yeah,
and that's with a lot of people standing.
They would shit themselves if there was 100 people.
Yeah,
in there.
Yeah, comfortably probably 40.
Yeah.
But what is the capacity at PTC? I don't even know. Probably 500-ish.
I think it's 450. I'm not really sure, actually.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's around a 450 seat theater, about ish.
So I mean, if like 50,
I believe
if like 50 people out
Dean,
of that,
come on, man, let us know.
If 50 people came out of that theater and came over to the bar, that'd be a great night.
That'd be a big night for them. So, anyways, what else happened? Oh my God, we saw Taj Mo, which is Taj Mahal and Keb Mo. It's two different people, but they kind of joined forces and call themselves Taj Mo.
Both blues legends.
Yeah, like blues, but like roots blues.
Yeah, like Delta blues.
Yeah, I don't know Delta blues, but more. I don't know. It's
Americana.
Yeah, more like Americana-based roots type blues. They're so good. They are legends. Taj is 82, 83, and Keb is 73.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't Keb, you wouldn't Keb Mo, you would have had
you could have told me Keb was 50 and I would have believed.
You told me he was 35 and I'd be like, yeah, sure, okay. Well, from the distance I was
going to say, I've seen close-up pictures of him. From a distance, he moves like a 35, 40 year old
Oh my God.
guy.
And he plays like he is such a monster, but he is so just smooth and just understated. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like if Snoop Dogg did blues.
Oh my God, yes.
It's got that cool, or Miles Davis in his cool era did.
Just very laid back, very chill.
And like, it's blues based, but it's almost, I would say 90% of the songs are positive.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of his lyrics are just very bringing people together. Everybody appreciate each other and love each other and bring unity and harmony and happiness in the world kind of songs.
Now, for my birthday yesterday, I posted on my page that for my birthday, I posted the song Room on the Porch for Everyone. And by them, off their latest, they just put out an album. That's why they're touring.
It's a great song.
And if your mission was, you're supposed to listen to that song. So if you haven't, go to my page, Galen Smith, if you don't know who I am. Go to my page and click on the link to that song, or just find it on YouTube, Room on the Porch, Taj Mo, and listen to it and kind of feel the vibe of that song. It is such a great piece of work.
The truth is, I had heard of them, but I really wasn't that familiar with their work until I heard that song. And that was like a month or so ago when they released it. And all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, I really, really like these guys. Galen was more familiar than I was. And then I just happened to, I had liked their page at some point, the Taj Mo page. And I don't know, two or 3 days before the concert, it popped up, playing the Bull in the Pines. I'm like, that can't be the same Bull in the Pines. And I looked it up and I'm like, they're playing like an hour from us. We got to go. It's your birthday weekend.
And last night, we almost pulled the trigger on this. It was kind of rainy and it's not my favorite venue, but friggin' Gaelic Storm was playing with Zach Brown last night, like
come
in
on.
Bangor.
So
if they had been at the Cross Center, I probably would have gone.
So you need to know that about 6 years ago, we were still living in Maine at the time. I arranged for tickets for I bought tickets to the Zach Brown concert at that same venue as a birthday present for Galen. And he had booked a gig for that night and I didn't know it. And so I couldn't take him to his birthday present to go see Zach Brown band. And I had a hard time finding somebody to go with. So I finally just decided I'm just going to go by myself. There'll probably be some people there I know. And sure enough, I got there. And the drum
you ended up in VIP section.
Yeah, the drummer that we use for Sail Bum's Full Sail, Bob Evans, was there, and he does a podcast interviewing drummers. He arranged for me to go backstage with him, and we wound up hanging out backstage with the Zach Brown band that night. And I felt so terrible that Galen missed out on that. And it was also one of the best concerts well, thank you. But and it was also one of the best concerts I've ever seen. They're phenomenal. And so I've always said, I got to find a way to get him to a Zach Brown concert at some point to make up for that. And then we're just driving down the road in Bangor yesterday and we go by the venue and a big thing on the marquee tonight, Zach Brown. I'm like, what? Are you serious? How did we not know that they were playing here tonight? And then Gaelic Storm, who's one of our favorite Celtic groups and maritime groups, they were opening for him, but it was raining. It was cold. And I'm like, do we want to stand out in the rain? And the tickets were super expensive because it was last minute.
They weren't. If we'd bought them like right then, we could have got some decent. I really kind of wanted to be up front, and I was sort of peopled out from. I mean, the people were wonderful at the concert Friday, but I was kind of peopled out. I was kind of like, yeah. So, anyways, we didn't go. But it was there. Let's see what else was happening.
Thank you for not feeling terrible about that, because I'm like, I screwed the pooch. I didn't get him to that concert again.
Whatever. Sometimes concerts are like sporting events, and it's like everybody's like, oh, I need to, it's like every once in a while I'll get into like a team, and let's say, the Eagles, everybody's like, oh, I got to go see the Eagles play, and I'll got to go see the Eagles play. So football or like a sporting event can be way more fun to watch, see on television, because you can see all the angles, you can see everything close up, and half the time you're just looking up at the fucking Jumbotron or whatever anyways to see what's actually happening. And and it's like, oh, why would I fight the crowds and travel all that time, and I can just sit here on the television and watch it
with people telling me what's happening,
and then I can just go in the friggin' kitchen and get myself a snack and come back, and then cost me $300.
Well, maybe we need to find a good Zach Brown live concert on YouTube.
So yeah, it's like seeing, and I get it. It's like, it's, going to see like Jimmy Buffett live is nothing like seeing it on TV, because it's like an event. It's like a big deal. But at that venue, it's not an event. It's not a big deal. I've been there, and I'm not going to get into it, but I just and especially in a cold, rainy day, it's not fun.
And a bunch of our friends went, and I saw pictures of them in their ponchos and sopping wet hair, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably fine that we didn't go.
I'm sure it was fun for people who like to have fun.
For people that like to have
fun. You look a whole year. Yes, you're very funny, Martha.
What'd she say?
She said, I look a whole year older than I did 2 days ago. Mike is having mimosas in our cockpit.
Oh, nice!
And we will we'll do this for a little bit, but then we'll transition over, and we'll see if we can do a thing.
You'll get to see us experiment and get it all wrong on YouTube for the first time.
Maybe they could start. No,
it won't be on our channel, though.
Yeah, it won't be on our channel. All right, so yeah, we'll try it again. We'll move our camera to vertical, but we'll do that in a few minutes. We'll we'll figure that out.
Take a couple pictures while you're there too, Mike, and we'll post them on our Facebook page.
Yeah,
of you
please.
guys in the cockpit.
Oh, wait a minute.
Respectable pictures, please.
No.
What do you mean no?
Or unrespectable.
Oh, you can bring up the security cameras and see them.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, hi guys.
That's awesome.
We have security cameras in the cockpit and inside the boat, so we can.
There they are in our cockpit.
I love it.
They're waving.
And he's aw. Did you guys bring Schooner with you?
Oh, there's Schooner.
Oh, cool. Schooner's their dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna move that. You can see Scooter Pop.
Awesome.
So the boat's still floating.
Boat's still floating.
That's wonderful.
Thank you for opening her up.
Schooner looks happy.
Mike said they've been having a lot of rain down there this week, so he hasn't been down. So I'm sure it smells pretty down there.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about the fact that it doesn't matter how many times. Every time we'll help, but it doesn't matter how many times they go down and open up the boat. When we go back, it is going to smell atrocious. It's just boat. It's just how it is.
I got to talk to you about those bilge pumps too. One of them was kind of cycling, sticking on. I didn't get it set exactly the way I wanted to. I think as long as it's stationary, it's fine. But while we were underway, it kept doing the cycling thing. But I think it's fine now. But
yeah, unless we're rocking around a lot.
And it's such a quiet. It's a really nice bilge pump. So it's really quiet.
Yeah,
so
you don't actually hear it running.
You can't really tell. And you have to kind of open the engine electrical box and listen. But anyways, we'll deal with that later. All right, real quick, what else happened?
I'm trying to think. We went over for Kaz's birthday. That was nice.
Yeah, Kaz had a birthday. Everybody's having birthdays. Yeah, we went over and she had a little jam over at 2 Feet and brought in some pulled pork and some cake and cheesecake. We had that. And that was
a bunch of people stopped by. Ran into a bass player that we haven't seen in a long time. Had a great conversation with Gordon Fellows.
Gordon. Yeah, met some new people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Had some of Knit's cooking.
Yeah.
I could seriously eat at 2 Feet every day and I'd be okay.
I think aside from that, I've just been here, working on the bass parts and
yeah, he's got a nice little practice space set up for himself. He's got all of his pedal boards laid out on a carpet on the floor in like a half donut. And, he was saying last night, these pedal boards will probably never all be together again. Because normally one would be on the boat and one's here.
Most of the pedals I own.
Yeah, but we have all these little quilts here in the office.
Ridiculous.
And he's got them like draped over it. Whenever he's not playing, he's got them draped over them so the cat doesn't chew all the wires. So there's this lovely little half donut of quilts on the floor. It's very neat. It's like, what is that? On a nice carpet, but it's all his pedal boards.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a gander at it.
And we've got
you guys lost the internet connection. You hooked to our Wi-Fi. I can send you if you go down, our Wi-Fi hotspot is on the nav station.
It's a little puck.
Of course, you don't have internet connection, so you can't see what I'm fucking telling you, right? But if you could, our hotspot is on the nav station, and on the back of the hotspot is the password to get on.
He'll figure it out.
Yeah. He's probably on the Marina Wi-Fi. And Marina Wi-Fis are notorious. Not just there.
It's never good.
I've never been on a Marina Wi-Fi that worked.
The only time I've ever used Marina Wi-Fi with success is when we've been in a marina that has like a captain's lounge, and I've gone up with my computer. Back when I was working for the magazine remote, I'd go up with my computer and sit in like a common space, and then you were close enough to all the.
Which one? Because I've done that tutoring and it's not worked out.
I can't remember which one I did it at. It must have been at Sandpiper.
I can't
Because
remember.
I can remember doing that.
I can't remember one time where I've hooked up to the internet at a marina and been like, oh yeah, okay, that's useful and it's going to last a long time. But
yeah, I can't remember now. But I remember hauling my computer up there and being like, oh good, I'm close enough, everything works. But the luckily we have a hotspot puck we could take with us anywhere. But if we take it with us, we then can't see our security cameras. So we don't do that very often unless we're in a place that we're not worried about it.
He says he's connected to all the Wi-Fi's and we're working. Okay. all the Wi-Fi's.
Cool.
Can we all just start calling it Wi-Fi now?
Wi-Fi. Nice. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. Just see if it catches on. Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. What else did we do this week? I think that's really about it. So if you did
long range Wi-Fi, well, I mean, it'd be pretty long range if it reached up here, but
I think most of the people that are on know. But we did a 2+ week journey by boat from Port St. Lucie to North Carolina that was filled with a lot of difficulty and
4-day journey in 2 weeks.
Toward the end, it was not that bad, but we were just very, very tired and very done by the end of it. And then we had a 2-day frantic, get the boat ready, to leave for 3 months. So we were very busy and very tired. And then we drove overnight to get here last weekend, an 18-hour drive. Yeah, and so honestly, the first 2 days of us being here were us recovering. We were just like
within an hour of getting here, we did our last cockpit coffee.
That's right. Before we went to bed.
So if you want to go back and see how awesome we were.
So if this week doesn't seem like we did a lot, it's like, honestly, aside from you practicing.
You don't need to do a lot. We're not we don't work for them.
I know. But in my mind, I'm thinking we must have done more than that in that time.
Name 5 things you did this week.
No, I visited with family a lot and that made me happy. It's nice to be here and have more time with my mom.
What are we doing this week? I feel like such an asshole sitting in this chair.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know. It just feels weird. Like I don't know.
Like you're pretending like you're not a chair sitter anymore? What do you mean?
I don't know. It's just kind of like I'm like some asshole in a chair. I guess I am an asshole in a chair, but just
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Like the wing backs and
they're very. There's a lot of things in this building that are too fancy for us. We don't deserve them.
I deserve things. That's not what I'm saying.
But yes, we're sitting in 2 very, very posh chairs, surrounded by all of your music equipment. And there's a lot of nostalgia here too. For those that don't know, the building that we're staying in used to be a nonprofit that my family ran. And so this building has a lot of history and a lot of ghosts and a lot of, how's the song go? Too many spirits in this house, too many spirits. And like the desk that Galen is using to do all of the recording mix down and stuff used to be my dad's desk. And it still has a bunch of his stuff around it and pictures that he had up on the wall and stuff. And so there's a lot of nostalgia in a good way that's feeding into the artistic things that we're doing too, at least from my end.
Yeah, I was like, I don't have the nostalgia, but
well, you had the connection with my dad though.
I had the connection with your father, yeah. Let's see, what are we going to be doing this week? I basically said I'm doing tech week.
I'm going to be rehearsing for my solo shows.
Yeah.
I dug out a bunch of binders yesterday of old music. And like, here's my Celtic book, and here's my jazz book, and here's my hippie soup book, and all these different stuff and I'm pulling music from everything.
Currently seats 322 people. And
much smaller than I thought it was.
It's home for all of Penobscot Theater Productions. 322 people. I wonder, you know what? I wonder if that went down when they put the new seats in.
I bet it did.
Because I seem to remember it capping out at like around 400 before.
I think you're right. They probably put
Because they put in bigger, plusher
posher
seats, I
Yeah.
think.
It's a posher
So
experience.
322 people. All right. So a very, very small venue.
Yep. Intimate. But they quite often sell out, you know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because
but-
there's only 322 seats.
Yep. Sometimes they wind up adding a couple of extra shows toward the end because the demand's so big. They'll add a couple extra matinees or something like that.
Well, I don't know. I can't really, because we used to go Tuesday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we can't be selling out too much if they're not doing a Tuesday show.
True.
Not my monkeys.
No, so you'll have every Monday and Tuesday off this time.
Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if anyone wants to take us sailing in Maine,
Yeah.
Monday and Tuesday, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of work here, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
We've got friends that just recently moved to Bucksport, Maine, who we met in Fernandina, Florida, on their boat, and they bought a house in Bucksport and are renovating an old farmhouse, and they're keeping their boat that they cruised on in Castine, and they're in the process of bringing it up from Rhode Island right now. And I'm like, I do expect a ride after you guys get up here. You need to take us out sailing.
Yeah. Might be a boat we go look at too. I'm going to talk too much about that, but there might be a boat we go look at.
Yep.
Hot and cold running water and AC. Where's that? Here? I mean, yeah, AC if it wasn't 50 degrees out.
Who said that?
Hamby.
Oh yeah, we've got all the amenities. We've got
The AC is crack a window right now, and then don't leave it open too long because it gets friggin' cold.
Yeah, my stepfather came out the other day and was like, "This is where the air conditioners are. Let me know when you want to put them in." And Galen's like, "I'll talk to you in like a month."
Oh yeah, he wanted to put them in right there. And well, remember I was doing something, but it was like, yeah, it's like we can put them in. It was like, I'm not putting that in. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like you might think 80 degrees is smoking hot, but it's like, you know, the 2 hours per week it gets up to 80 degrees in Maine right now. It's like that's normal for us. That's not hot.
We did have one 80-degree day this week, and when I walked outside, I was like, "Oh yeah, okay, this feels normal. All right." I did have one night I was a little warm, and I brought a fan into the bedroom, but I think it was that night, just all the heat had risen because we're up on the second floor. But the only fan that I could put my hands on right before I went to bed was one of those really huge ones, and it was like being in front of like the fan that makes the woman's hair blow like crazy in a photo shoot. And I'm like, well, that's a little too much. Like,
he was just talking about just having all the creature comforts. Yeah,
it is nice.
I mean, you know what? I mean, because technically, and I'm going to trigger Dean here. We have a heater on the boat.
Calm yourself, Dean.
The hot water is like I haven't installed it yet. That's on me. I mean, but you know what? You know what's the big thing, Mike, about being here that's different is I don't have to put shit away. Like all my practice, all my music gear is sitting in the living room / music room. It's not like all over the place. It's not like a mess. It's all like really neat and everything, but it's all out. And all I need to do is like pull a cover off it, plug it in. I didn't even plug it in. I just turn the switch on and I'm up and running. Whereas on the boat, I have to put everything away all the way every time I practice. And I practice at least once a day.
Yeah.
And so like for when I'm playing guitar, when I'm practicing guitar, I have to pull out my guitar, an amp, the chords, my pedal board rig, I have to plug all that stuff in, run it out to the cockpit because that's where I prefer to practice. But I don't think of it like that. It's not like, oh, this big fucking chore. I just do it
because you do it every day.
That's what I do every day. And it's like, it's like, well, I got an hour and a half before we have to go somewhere. I'm going to go do this. Or it's usually at sunset, and I go out in sunset and play. But then I have to, after we're done, or the bugs start coming, chase me inside, I have to go put all of that stuff away. I have to pack it all in and put it in the quarter berth because we can't leave it out. There's no space just to leave shit out. I can't leave it out in the cockpit because, as you know, we have an exposed cockpit in any weather, or even the dew at night will, destroy the electronics. So that's, Bill.
You're about to have a pickle sighting.
Bill said he finally got the live chat working.
Come on.
Oh, puss. You hear the puss?
Pickles.
Should get a third microphone and just put it on the puss.
Yep. He's right behind Galen's chair. But I was trying to get him to come over in this area, but he's not really complying. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the fact that I set up a practice area down in the kitchen because there's a downstairs with a big kitchen. And we're mostly living upstairs, but then we go down and use the kitchen and the showers downstairs. But because Galen's practicing so much for the show right now, I don't want to only be able to practice when he isn't. So I set myself up down in the corner of the kitchen to practice. And once he starts the show, I'll move myself back up into this big common room. But to have the space to do that, to have a downstairs and an upstairs, and he can practice upstairs and I can practice downstairs, is amazing. We're just not used to this.
No. Well, yeah, we got to see Bill when we were in North Carolina. Bill and Val went out. They took us around. We had lunch. That was fun. We'll get to see all of our NC peeps when we come back down. We're going to be there for a little while.
See Marsha.
Yeah.
Marsha.
That'd be cool. Come on, Pickles. Schooner wants to see you, buddy.
You might have to entice him with treats. He's right behind your chair, staring at you.
Come on, buddy.
Why is Daddy in that weird chair? Oh, man. He is enjoying sleeping in all the places. All the places. He's been in every single chair. He's been on the couch. I think he's even been on the bed, hasn't he? And he doesn't normally sleep.
He did. He did briefly. Come on. You can be an asshole in a chair, too. Come on. Come on. Get up here.
And he's absolutely... Oh, there he is.
There we go.
He's absolutely loving. Here, bring him a little bit more this way.
Let's get a little more of an angle down. There we are.
He's absolutely loving the hardwood floors. You can see behind me, these light hardwood floors are pretty much through the whole place. And he's discovered that everything slides around on them. So everything from... the little roach motels that you put in the corner of your house that normally people don't ever see. He's found all of them and scattered them all over the place. Anything that falls on the floor that could potentially slide on the floor. Hi.
Overstimulated.
You want another treat? Hang on.
No, he's done.
He's not done. Here.
Overstimulated. There's the puss.
In all his glory. He was amazing on the trip up.
He was so good.
I could not have asked him to behave any better.
Come on, buddy. You can sit over here if you want. All right, sit up there. There's a good place.
It's just like being between us in the car, isn't it?
Oh, Andrea's on.
Hi, Andrea.
Says hi, Pickles.
You had a birthday recently, didn't you? I think. Yeah, that's a good place for you. He's purring. Can you hear him? Can you purr in the microphone? There you go.
He wouldn't eat those treats, Bill. He's a finicky treat eater, and I managed to get about a quarter one into him. He was having none of it. But we gave him about half an hour just sitting in the car, just playing with him, talking to him. And he was panting and he was anxious. But he started calming down a little bit, and we took off. And within a couple hours, he was calm. He started doing some snoozing in the back. And we can tell he's relaxed when he kind of sleeps kind of twisted weirdly, and that's his comfort zone. And eventually, after he took a couple snoozes, he completely relaxed, and he did literally what he's doing right now. He like jumped up between us in the front seat of the car, and he was on the console, and he was just looking out the window and having a good time.
He spent a bunch of time on the floor on the passenger side next to whoever was not driving at the time.
Oh, you got a fan, Puss. Rocky's meowing at you. Can you give Rocky a meow?
He's purring pretty hard.
Oh, Greg's on too.
Hi, Greg. Yeah, so Pickles has been great. I know a lot of people have messaged me and been like, is he dealing with land life okay? Does he have land sickness and all this? Nah, he's fine. He's fine. And so are we. I mean, it's not like, I think we've lived on the boat so long now, even though we were on passage for quite a while, when we come to land, we don't really get the land sickness anymore.
I do.
You do sometimes?
You haven't noticed I've been stumbling around like a friggin' drunk?
I have not noticed that.
I mean, that's pretty normal for me, but I'll be like standing there and all of a sudden I'll just like start falling over.
The only time I get it is in enclosed spaces. Like if we've had a lot of rocking around and then we go into shore and I'm in a bathroom stall or a shower. You put me in an enclosed space, and I've been in showers before at marinas where I've been absolutely fine, and I'm like washing my hair or something, and then all of a sudden I'm just against the wall, and it's like my body just freaks out for a moment. And I don't actually feel sick. It's just that your equilibrium is weird.
Yeah, normally I'd say if I was stumbling down drunk is just because I'm drunk.
But you're not really drinking.
Recently, I've had to I'm on a medication, so I can't. I haven't been. Christ, Hambys was the last person that saw me drunk. That was a long time ago.
It was well over a year ago.
Yeah, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Get off this methotrexate.
Well, this is awesome.
Man, this is. I don't want to disturb anything because rare we get the puss up with us on a cockpit coffee.
Purring like crazy too. Well, there's all these new cool little perches for him, and he's loving it. We got him a new scratchy pad the other day. He's loving the ottomans. There are a couple of ottomans out here, and he loves the ottomans. One of them even rolls, which is even more exciting.
I lost my little windsock.
It's on your port side in the chair.
In the chair?
Yep, in the little crevice.
Yeah, fuck it. There's no wind here.
I noticed it when you stood up.
There's no wind.
So we're going through all of our storage. I for whatever reason, I have more motivation at night to do it. Like I was doing it the hour before you went to bed last night. I was in the storage room going through clothes and putting stuff in like Goodwill pile, I've got a pile that I'm giving to some girlfriends, basically being like, go through these clothes. If you don't want them, give them to Goodwill. And for some reason, I get motivated at night to just start tearing through stuff.
Yeah, I was like, going to
bed.
Like,
I'm going to bed. I'm like, yeah, I'll be a few minutes. Got to do it when the motivation hits you.
Yeah. So what are we doing today? We're meeting a friend.
We're meeting Joy
I'm
tonight.
gonna do some practice. Oh, is that tonight?
Yep. She had something during the day today, so I think she is available after 5. Yep. Joy's a very, very, very good friend of ours that we always meet up with when we're up here. She's a local. She has her own PR company. She's always one of the first people that reaches out to us. When can I see you? And
uh-oh. You going, buddy? Say goodbye.
yeah, he's trying to. I think he wanted to get down on your leg, but the phone's in the way.
Oh, you want to get down here?
Yeah. He actually sat in both of our laps on the ride up, which just doesn't happen. He's not a lap cat.
Whenever he's scared, though, he'll come over to us and cuddle up with us.
Yep. Early on in the passenger side, he nestled himself right in my arm in the car. Good job.
All right.
Thank you for playing.
Yep. Go have some fun.
He's literally looking around going, what can I chase?
What he's looking. He's very transparent because he can tell his next move because he's always like looking where he wants to go and what he wants to be into.
I went to Rennie's in Bangor, the Maine adventure. And got him some.
Oh my God, she's all about fucking.
Oh my God, Rennie's is so amazing. Oh my God, I had no idea. They got a Rennie's in Bangor since we were gone, and I'm like, okay, it's Rennie's. It's like a discount place. So I'm like, oh my God, everything's so cheap and amazing. But yeah, I got some new cat toys that he can skid across the floor here really easily, so he doesn't go after other things.
See, Bill says it looks like you're the king and queen of your throne. See, he gets it.
It is very comfortable. It's nice to sit in a normal chair, and my legs are in a normal position, and I'm just like.
I gotta admit, so we've been talking about next boats, and the idea of getting like a 50-foot, monohull with like a big, just massive saloon downstairs, so I can get a haircut.
Which you still need, by the way.
I had a nightmare about that. I'll get back to that. So the idea of just having like a big one with like regular furniture in it really friggin' appeals to me. But all the hassles of having a boat that size is unappealing.
Everything gets way more expensive. The bigger your boat is, the more expensive it is to cruise. So,
well, I mean, in our case, it's not so much more expensive as it's just more work for me. Yeah. That's where it comes in. There's really no more expense. It's just more work I have to do because we don't go to docks,
Right.
And
seldom. We do, but very seldom.
Yeah, it's true. When we do, we're usually getting it. A deal or get it for free. We're at a dock right now. We're in a slip right now, thanks to Mike. So last night I had a dream that we were like in this mall or something, and I was like, I gotta get a haircut, man. I gotta get a haircut. And I've been trying to get my haircut to get like the dead ends and stuff taken off it. So it doesn't tangle up as much, but I want to keep the length and everything. So, we're in this mall, and all these places are like closing down. I think it has to do with like the Bangor malls, like everything in this closing down, but everything's like closing up, and they're like, yeah, we're closed. We can't help you. And I'm like, oh shit. And I see this one place. Lots of hair places in the mall, I guess. And this one place, I'm like, I come running up. I'm like, look, man, I know you're closing, but I'm like, can you like either just get me in? Can you stay open or just be open tomorrow morning so I can come in? The guy's like, what do you need? I'm like, I just need my dead ends trimmed off, and it's just not a big deal. He goes, oh no, I'll do it for you right now. He goes, come on over. And so I go over, and I'm like, he doesn't even sit me down. I'm standing there, and he just goes in back of me. He just starts cutting my hair, and he's like going up my right side, and he's like, and he stops, and he's like, and I'm like noticing like a lot of hair flying. And I'm like, oh shit. And he stops, and he's like, you know what, man? He goes, I really probably shouldn't be doing this right now because I'm in a hurry, and it just, yeah, why don't you come back tomorrow? And I'm like, he like cut off like way too, like, I'm like, I got like really short hair on the side, and it's like he really fucked up my hair, and I'm like, and then he wouldn't finish it, and I didn't want him to finish it anyways, and I'm just gonna like, oh my god,
You had a hair anxiety dream.
I totally had a hair anxiety dream, and you were someplace, and there was a salon there, but it was like closed, and I'm like going in, and I'm like, look what the fucking guy did to me because you guys wouldn't stay open. What? Like, what the fuck?
By the way, Kimmy got back to me. She only does vivid color and hair extension appointments now.
I don't need
she
hair
didn't-
extension.
I
Well, maybe if
know.
that dream comes true, I'll need a hair extension.
I had a hairdresser here named Kimmy, but she really specialized in all the like vivid colors, and now she's just doing that.
I didn't think she would be able to do it, but did she recommend anyone?
No, sorry.
All right, I'll figure it out.
I'm gonna ask around today. I'm gonna message a few people and just be like, who do you know that he wants to go to somebody who really understands how to do long men's hair because he doesn't want to walk out of there with a mullet or with hair much shorter than he wants it.
I remember there was one lady I was getting my hair cut, and I was like, I kept telling her, I'm like, I want to keep some length on my hair. And she's like, okay. I'm like, I don't want a mullet. She's like, what's a mullet? I'm like, oh,
I'm out of here.
I walked out of there with a mullet. I swear to Christ, I walked out of there with a mullet. Now, and this is like, I mean, you can get a mullet now and you're actually kind of retro cool.
You don't want
at that point, it was not retro cool. At
Even
least
then,
it grows
wasn't really
back.
retro cool.
That's my mom. Yeah, at least it grows back. But you know what? It takes a while. And it's like, Jesus. I'm sure like when a crab gets his like arm cut off, it's like, like, yeah, it grows back. It's a huge pain in the ass. Like an iguana loses its tail.
Well, yeah.
It's like, oh, it'll grow back.
In a long time. Yeah.
But then you don't have a tail for like, how long does it take? Dean, how long does it take for an iguana to grow its tail back?
He's like, dude, we need like theme music for Dean. You need something you can just hit. She's like, dun, 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 dun. Dean's looking it up.
Dean's facts. That's why I have so many hats. Well, I've been cutting my hair myself for the past 5 years.
I've been cutting mine for about 7. I started doing it
more than that.
I started I started doing it myself a couple of years before I left here because I had hairdresser friends and I wanted to start doing it before I left so that if I screwed it up they could fix it, and I was going to them and getting advice on how to do it myself, and I've done a pretty good job, but I need somebody to go in and get all the dead stuff in the fine areas. And both of us spend so much time with our hair up on the boat because we're sweaty and we're working that it pulls out and gets damaged in different places than a lot of other people's. So we just need somebody to go in and clean it up and shape it. And my hair doesn't grow as fast as it used to. It used to be, I could get a bad haircut and in 6 months it didn't really matter. My hair grows really slowly now. So I don't, and I'm liking the length I have now. So I've been kind of waiting before I get it done too. I'm not so much worried about a mullet, but I want to make sure.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Can you imagine?
No.
I was considering a wolf cut. If any of the girls that are on know what that is, I showed you a picture of it. It was where it was a little shorter through the top, and there was some wispy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you're like, you could probably rock that, but it's got to be in such a way that I can pin it back for when we're sailing and doing.
Well, that's the thing is, I need to put it in a ponytail. I do have pretty epic short hair. When my hair is short, it's not really short. It's it's like longer in the front. And it's like my hair is huge when it's
really curly when
because
it's
it gets
short.
really curly, and it like the front of it, like you know that style that all the like the 20-year-olds are rocking now.
Yeah, where it's like tight here and then lots
That's
of curls.
exactly
on top.
what my hair looks like.
That's what his does naturally.
Yeah, that's what my hair does. Maybe I should do it just because that's
No.
like the
No.
style now. But you know what?
No.
If I did it, everybody would be like, "Oh, you're trying to look younger." It's like,
No, your long hair is kind of your identity
I
now.
created this, bitch. You don't. I'm not trying to look younger. It's the way I am.
Technically, I think your mom created it. But...
Yeah. She's right back there, by the way. Hanging out with Max.
Yep. One of the things we're doing while we're up is having a service for Galen's mom.
Yeah.
We don't have a date yet, though.
No, she's in a box.
Yep.
Chilling on the chair back
She's
there.
got a little place of honor.
She's got a little bottle of Bacardi. She was a fan of the Bacardi Silver. So.
Yeah, and we have another relative who passed just
Oh, Jesus Christ, Dean. Complete tail regrowth in iguanas can take anywhere from weeks to months. The exact timeline depends on several factors, including iguana's age, overall health, diet, and extent of the loss.
Thank you, Dean.
Thank you, Dean.
We have another relative who recently passed on the other part of the family, and his name was Max. And so we have Max and Maxine hanging out with each other here in the room until their respective services this summer. A little place of honor.
Yeah, we should get a little banjo for Max.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Guitar or a little banjo or something. Checked every cabin in the Bilges. Oh, thanks, Mike.
They did what?
Went down and checked every cabin in the Bilges. We also have, I don't know if you remember or not, we have a bilge alarm. So if it does fill up past a certain point, it'll start squealing at you. It's pretty loud.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
Yeah.
You'll know when you hear it. It's really fun when it goes off while we're underway and we're like heeled way over and it just keeps going off. And he's like, dang it, take the helm. And then he's down there messing with it.
Yeah. And so all the power is shut off to the boat, but the bilges are on what's called the 24-hour power block. And that's all the bilges have power and the security cameras have power.
And everything else is shut off and all the sea cocks are closed.
No moisture, no mold.
Don't put anything down the drains or run water.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you. It gives us a huge peace of mind. I mean, we couldn't do this, honestly, if we didn't have somebody like you checking the boat and making sure that it's that she's doing well.
It's a very big deal.
Yeah, that's we might not act like it all the time, but that is definitely our home, and definitely, we have a lot of anxiety when we leave her just for a few hours. So leaving her for weeks is like,
that says something about you guys too. There are very, very few people, especially Galen, but me too, would trust to keep an eye on the boat for this amount of time. The longest we've been away from the boat was when we came up here last September-ish for 3 weeks. And that seemed like forever.
Oh,
that seemed like forever to us.
I can't imagine what this is going to be like.
I think it'll be a little different because, like you said, we've got the Hambys watching out for things.
We had the Hambys watching out for things then, too.
Well, that's true.
And it wasn't that we didn't trust them watching out for it. It's just that being away. The anxiety was gone. Or couldn't have done it. But it was just
just being away seemed scary.
It wasn't
normal.
scary. It was just not comfortable. It just wasn't. It's our home. It's being away from our home. It's just eventually you want to go home. 3 weeks was a lot. This is going to be a lot.
You're going to be really busy though with all the shows. I think you'll be a little distracted from it.
Yeah.
Wherein before we did a couple shows while we were up, but it was more we were seeing people and stuff. This is more like a working trip, as well as getting a chance to see family. So I think that'll change how we feel a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some other cool things that we're going to do, if not this week, different weeks. Like there's a cool songwriters group at 2 feet that we're going to go over and be part of. I don't know if it'll be this week or another week, but
It'll be another week. So I got to prepare for tech.
Oh, and I think you've got load in on Tuesday too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's not going to happen this week, but next week I'll go do that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyways, let's try for a few minutes. Let's see if we can switch over and, we got 11 people on.
Yeah.
Oh, Brandon's on. We'll give this a few minutes.
Which Brandon? Brandon Surfer Drip Brandon?
Yeah.
Cool. Hi.
And hi to Beth if she's there too.
I was kicking myself because I left the Mollynogger on board. I should have brought it with me.
Yeah. Definitely should have brought it. But Mike can play it.
We brought everything else. Oh my gosh, that car was full.
Well, the trunk was full.
The trunk was very full. I was worried because we asked for a Kia Soul and we got a Hyundai Elantra. And I'm like, are we going to get everything in here?
Well, Kia Soul isn't exactly a huge car.
No.
It just
feels more open.
It just feels more open. Oh, yeah, Beth's there. Hi, Beth. Yeah. But give us a couple more minutes and then we'll try switching it, see if we can get Mike up and you guys can see what's going on in the cockpit too. No demerits for not bringing the bringing the melodica.
There were so many things we brought that normally you would not take on a trip. Like we have these two. We finally bought a really good speaker system for the boat, and we brought it with us because Galen's working on mix downs for the album.
Yeah.
So we have these awesome speakers set up on my dad's old desk in the living room here that we use every night when we're here just relaxing.
They were expensive enough where I didn't want to buy another set of them up here.
No, and they're good speakers, and we bought them specifically for doing mix downs and series.
Really shouldn't be traveling with them. They're very fragile. They don't even have a front grill on them, which that I do regret. That's the one thing. I love these speakers. I really love these speakers. They're front ported and they just sound incredible. And they have a bunch of features on them that for mix downs or just make things easy. But man, yeah, they don't even have a front grill on them. So like you can just poke your finger through the fucking, speaker.
So one of the things that I'm doing when I get back, and I was like, maybe I can borrow a sewing machine up here. And no, I bought the stuff to do it. It's on the boat. I'm making covers for the speakers because they're going to live on our starboard settee on this big wide shelf that we have behind the settee. And I'm making covers for them that have like black tulle in the front that's going to be stretched around the front of them and fabric around the rest. So it's a dust protector. It creates a little bit of a barrier if you really poke something sharp in there, it's going to go through, but you're not going to just accidentally poke through it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have straps that come down and secure them with pad eyes so that the speakers don't move when we're underway and they can just live there all the time.
That's why, Brandon was like, make some. Like,
I bought all the stuff to do it, the strapping, I've got the pad eyes, everything, but I just didn't get to it before we left.
Yeah, that way, and then they'll be permanently installed.
Yep.
So, in the, where I do most of my mix downs on the boat, which would be great.
But they won't be like
cold.
They won't be like screwed down. So if we do something like this again, we can take them somewhere. But for the most part, they won't move after that point.
Yeah.
Can you entertain the people for a moment while I get a glass of water?
Yeah, go ahead, and then I think we'll switch over and see if we can do a few minutes. We've been on like over an hour, so
okay,
we should probably
take
off. Although we got a few people on. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, happy Pride Month with the rainbow mug, rocking the rainbow. Although my coffee's getting cold, I think we're gonna have to switch over to cockpit beers here pretty soon, or cockpit whatevers. I got some tea. You guys ever had like that mushroom tea? Not like fancy mushrooms, but like a chaga, I believe. I'm gonna try that out. I think I'll try that out tonight. I wanted something because I always have like some sort of drink in my hand when I'm working on music projects, practicing. And
I just realized that I still have my microphone while I use the restroom.
Oh, yeah. I would have reminded you if you had said you were going to use the restroom.
Well, that's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys heard all that. Oh, well.
That's a typical thing.
We all do it.
That's a typical thing in theaters. It's like if you don't have a good sound person, they'll just leave everybody's microphones up and you can hear them like,
oh, turn down Janet. Turn down Janet.
Yeah, Mike says, nice toilet flush.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I was just talking about tea, chaga tea. It's very exciting.
About chaga tea?
Yeah, we got some.
Yeah, it was really good.
We haven't
Cranberry.
tried it. We haven't tried it yet. This chaga tea.
Oh, I'm sorry. We tried the cranberry. That was really good.
Yeah, the cranberry tea was good. Intense. Really good tea. However, fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Super expensive. Like, I don't know how much tea we'll get out of it. I think we'll get like maybe 6 cups, seven cups out of that whole thing. And it was like $14 or something.
Yeah, I have to admit, you were all excited about trying the loose teas. And in principle, I think it's awesome too. But
well, you don't have to pay that much. We did pay that much. It's like you actually pay less for that if you go to a place that has the things. And Till and Rye I believe used to have that, but I think you have to go to the other place in Bangor now. Yeah. It's all pre-packaged over there now.
No,
but you used to be able. What I'm thinking, they used to have like everything just kind of like in the bulk section, and you just pick what you want and bring it home. But
I have to admit, though, that cranberry tea that we did try, I had the feeling of like, oh, this is like another level. Like, this is the flavors in this. They're not like a normal tea bag at all. Like, this is really, really good.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think you could fit the stuff in there in a normal tea bag. That's the thing. I mean, it was like literally, walnuts, like chopped walnuts in it and things like that.
It was super good. I bought some biscotti at Rennie's, the Maine Adventure, for us to have with tea the next time we do one of those fancy teas.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I'm going to try it tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe Joy would enjoy that too.
Joy would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Do the chaga and some biscotti.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a little experiment here. I'm going to stop this live. And I'm going to start another live, and Mike and Sharon are in the cockpit of our boat, and we won't go for a long time. We'll just go for like 10, 15 minutes. Just to see if we can do it. So maybe like next time we could do it that way.
Yeah.
But we never experiment and see, and they're right there. So let's
do it.
Let's do that. We got 9 people aboard right now. Let's see if we can.
We get a few of you to come over with us with the next live that'll start in just a minute or two.
Yeah, thank you.
Probably not even that long.
You guys can, you guys are welcome. That any point, anytime. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna end this, but we're gonna be back on in just a couple minutes. I'm gonna send Mike. I'm gonna send you another message with a link to the new the new one, and I'm going to switch us to a different format, and we'll see if it works. And if you don't catch up with us on that one, have a great day. But if not, we'll see you in just like 2 or 3 minutes.
Bye, everybody. Happy Sunday.